What's up, YouTube? Take a look at all this stuff. I've got quite the haul video. And the exciting part is I found all this stuff locally. So everything with the exception of these two 8-tracks I got from someone on Facebook Marketplace for 25 bucks. And I got these two 8-tracks at a local record store. Somebody must have bought a bunch of their tapes because a lot of them were just gone. So I've got Styx Cornerstone, really nice label. The Great A&M Show. And then I found 38 Special, Wild Eyed Southern Boys. And both of these tapes were totally playable. They don't need pressure pads or anything. So those were good finds. And then we get into all this stuff. It was locally from a guy like 2 miles from me, so that was pretty cool. I picked out a small stack of ones I'll probably keep, and the rest I might just take to our church rummage sale or something. But everyone's more interested in the tapes, so without further ado, let's see what's here. Almost looks like Days of Future Past, but it's probably not. Got some bootleg ones. Well, actually, let me just skim through the titles here, because there's a lot. But I think this is supposedly over 100. Some of these appear to be sealed, which is really interesting. Here's a bootleg one, Black Gold Volume 1. Various artists, I guess. Roberta Flack. Miles Davis, that's a good one. That should be exciting to listen to. There's like a lot of good variety in this whole lot too. There's some rock and jazz stuff. Frank Sinatra, My Way, that's cool. Got a melted pinch roller in this Ampex tape. So that needs a new roller. Maybe I'll set that aside. And then if there's some other junk tape I don't care about, maybe I can rob the roller out of something else and make it work in here. Ooh, this one's exciting too. Cannonball Adderley. Wow, that's a really nice tape. Like early Capitol, really mint label. Doobie Brothers. What were once vices are now habits. I don't have this one, so that's nice. The Best of Gene Ammons? Not sure who that is. The Best of Otis Redding. That's an exciting one. There is some really good stuff in here. I really like Otis Redding. The McCoys. See, this is one of those really early 8-tracks, probably from the 60s. Another one with a melted pinch roller. That's a cool cartridge, though. Cool cover art. And we've got a Truck Stop bootleg one, the Fifth Dimension Live. The Moments, Look at Me. Not sure who they were. David Crosby, Graham Nash. Nice cover art on that with the sleeve. Really nice label too. I might have this on 8-track, I'm not sure. If I do, I don't have this slipcase for it. But I think I have this on vinyl, so that's all good music. A Pocket Full of Miracles. Smokey Robinson and Miracles. Ringo the Fourth. Don't have that one. Reflections. Volume 7. Barry White's Greatest Hits. Stephen Stills. Don't have that one. That's cool. Wow, this is really cool. I am a fan of John Clemmer. He's like a tenor sax jazz artist. That's sealed. And that's nice big cover art. I don't know if this has any value, but I would play them just to play them. Original jazz organ grades. Jimmy Smith, that's interesting. Here's the back, that's kind of cool. Rod Stewart. Blondes have more fun. Don't have this one. I gotta straighten these out now. Another John Clemmer. Oh, look. There's sealed duplicates. That's pretty cool. That's even better. I can open one and keep one sealed. That's awesome. And we've got the Gene Chandler Situation. Kingsman, not sure who they were. Bay City Rollers. J. Giles Band. I don't think I have any tapes by them. And Bobby Bland and B.B. King, so this could be some cool blues music. Johnny Mathis. I think I know some of the Christmas songs by him. Oh, cool, Jackson Browne. Oh. The Doors, it's like a homemade one. Wild Cherry. Not sure what that is. Another sealed one. Fats Waller. Sings and Swings. This could be a cool jazz one. Daryl Hall and John Oates. That's a cool one I don't have. Rich Girls on this. That's cool. Another bootleg one. Rufus and Chaka Khan. Head Cleaner. Can never have too many of those. And another one. That still looks pretty clean. And Total Experience Choir. I don't know. Here's a blank one. 1, 2, 3 Beach Boys. Track 4 Elton John. Let's see. Barry Larkin and the Delegates. I don't know who that is. Quincy Jones. Another blank one. This might have broken or something. Doesn't quite feel heavy enough to be 90 minutes, so I don't know. Let's see. Eddie Kendricks. Don't know who that is. What's this? Might be CDs. I'm not sure. What else? Chuck Jackson and Irma Thomas. Don't know who they were. Rufus. Foghat Live, that's kind of cool. Egberto Gismonti, don't know who that is. Elvis, I don't have any Elvis tapes. Some love songs, I guess. Another head cleaner. And Tommy Dorsey. And then box number 2. Another sealed one. Little Richard, that's cool. Greatest hits recorded live. That's cool. Sertron head cleaner. Could just put these in a whole pile of their own. Earth, Wind, and Fire Gratitude. I don't have any tapes by them. Wonder if any of these are hits. Not too sure. And Millie Jackson Live and Uncensored. Is this like comedy? I don't know. Then we've got Americanization of Ooga Booga Hugh Muscella. I don't know who that is. Another melted Ampex pinch roller. Could make a pile of those. ZZ Hill. No idea who that is. Sweet Baby James. Another possibly melted pinch roller. This tape looks dark. I don't know if that's inside out or not. Yeah, that roller's melted. That's a bummer because that's a great album. What's Going On, Marvin Gaye. Another head cleaning cartridge. Oh wow, I don't have this one. The original soundtrack for Tommy by The Who. That's cool. Al Green, I'm Still in Love with You. Bachman Turner Overdrive. I may have had this one from a Goodwill auction. I'm not sure though. The Shirelles, Remember When. Don't know who they are. This, well, maybe the diameter of this pinch roller might fit in an Ampex tape. I'm not sure. Stevie Wonder Anthology. That's cool. Volume 1 and 2. Quincy Jones. J. Giles Band Live. Ron Wood. Don Rickles. Hello, Dummy. That might be like comedy. America's Greatest Hits. That's a good one. My mom had this on vinyl. That's got good stuff on it. And a nice little picture sleeve slipcase. And a nice clean label. So that's a nice one. Disco Estate 74. There's just quirky stuff in there that could be interesting. So, I mean, those kind of tapes can be fun. A blank TDK. That's high quality tape right there. I just don't know if this is inside out. That looks shiny, almost like reel-to-reel tape. I feel like it should look more dark. Like the oxide of the tape, I feel like should look more dark than that. But I mean, If I reuse any of the blank tapes, this could be a high quality one. ABBA. Jerry Butler. Ice on Ice. Don't know who that is. Another Elvis. Bob James Heads. I might have this one. Have to double check. Willie Nelson. Quincy Jones. You got it. Bad Girl. Another Willie Nelson. Another head cleaning cartridge. Lou Rawls Live. That's kind of cool. Another Elvis. The Sun Records. Interviews and Memories, I guess. Might be interesting to listen to. This is another early 60s 8-track, probably. Melted Pinch Roller again. Boss Skaggs. Down, to, then left. I don't have that one. Homemade one. Not sure what artists those would be. Another blank one, Sammy K. Not sure who that is. But this looks to be in good shape, so I could reuse this as a blank, potentially. Barbra Streisand and Kristofferson. A Star is Born. Quincy Jones again. Glenn Campbell. I thought he died not too long ago, maybe within the past few years or something. ZZ Top, Fandango. Pretty sure that's a live album. Combias. That's probably not even in English. Easy Rider. I think I might have found this one on a Goodwill auction or something. I might have that. Another blank one. September 22nd, 79. And then another Truck Stop one. Through the Past Darkly. Rolling Stones. I'm not even sure what that album would be. Maybe that's an early one. An early album of theirs. Earl Scruggs. Some banjo music. Carol Douglas. Joe Walsh. The smoker you drink, the player you get. Pretty sure I have this exact tape. Might be in similar condition as mine. But that's still a good album regardless. Hank Williams. Treasury. Ronnie Dyson. Don't know who that is. Another Hank Williams. Treasury. I don't know if that's a volume 1 or 2. That might just be duplicates. More Elvis. Spin Out. The original Greatest Hits of Little Richard. That's really cool again. I'll probably enjoy those. The Best of Sam Cooke. Soul Symphony, The Three Sounds. Don't know who they were. And Mighty Like a Rose, Eddie Harris. That looks pretty old. And then box number 3. High Energy, Turn It On. Not sure who they are. This one's got Braille on it. That's interesting. Wilson Pickett, Great Hits. I've heard the name Wilson Pickett. I'm not entirely familiar. But if it's anything like Otis Redding or something, that could be cool. Nice slipcase. Braille and all. I imagine the label looks pretty cool. Nice color. Melted pinch roller again, which is a bummer. Motown Record Group. The Supremes Greatest Hits with Diana Ross and the Supremes Volume 1. Or no, this is Volume 2. I found a cool Diana Ross and the Supremes double LP at the record store one time. Gene Chandler, that might be a duplicate in here. 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. Roy Ayers. Don't know who that is. Peggy Lee's Greatest. That label's in nice shape. Chameleon. Frankie Valli, The Four Seasons. The Best of Gordon Lightfoot. This one's like coming apart. Them Changes Buddy Miles. Don't know who that is. A blank one. The Platters. R. Boone. Hendrix. 72 Minutes. Elton John. Ramsey Lewis, Hang On Ramsey. Taj Mahal. Giant Step. The Old Folks at Home. Don't know who they are. Ricky Nelson, Legendary Masters. Here's a classic, Hotel California. Can't go wrong with that. Another blank. Kind of hard to read. Rare Earth, One World. I recognize the album cover. I don't remember exactly the songs or whatever. Soul. Look at that cool psychedelic label. Lauren Baker's Greatest Hits. Sleeve's kind of neat too. The Illusion, Together as a Way of Life. Don't know who they are. That's a nice condition tape. The Best of Bob Dylan, Volume 2. That's cool. Ooh, 10 years after. Rock and roll music to the world. Don't know if I have this on 8-track. Oh, Led Zeppelin 4. That's in really rough shape. But I sold some of my rock 8 tracks, and I'm not sure if I still have Zeppelin 4 on 8 track. It's trashed, but still cool. Greg Allman, Laid Back. That's cool. Houses of the Holy. Again, written on and pretty beat up. Probably in somebody's car. But still good to have. You can never have too many Led Zeppelin tapes. Another blank one. Marilyn Lefevre. And Alvin Lee something. Maybe Alvin Lee of 10 Years After. The Beatles, Hey Jude. I don't have this one, so that's cool. Band on the Run. Got that one. Another blank. Encore performance from Fort Worth, Texas, 1980. Wonder if this was like a live recording of a concert. I can't really read the pencil too well, but that could be neat. Johnny Taylor, Super Taylor, don't know who he is. Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Various artists. 2 record polka pack, 50 polkas. I love polka music. Wonder who all's on here, no idea. Could be anyone, really. Switched on Baccarat, Christopher Scott. The what? South Soul Orchestra. Great Guitars of Jazz. Kenny Burrell. Barney Kessel. Wes Montgomery. I mean, those are good jazz artists, so that should be cool. The Best of Johnny Taylor. Stars. Original stars. Original hits. Al Stewart, Cliff Richard. Thelma Houston. Kiss. Travers, Dr. Hook. Then we've got Johnny Mathis, Feelings. Johnny Cash, Original Golden Hits Volume 1. That's kind of cool. Aretha Franklin in Paris. Recorded at the Olympia Theater. That's kind of neat. Another melted Ampex pinch roller. I could make a whole pile of those or a whole box. It's just sad. I can't always find parts to replace those rollers. This is interesting cover art. Volunteer Jam, the Charlie Daniels Band. Marshall Tucker Band, Dickie Betts. That's kind of neat. Dynamite. Jimmy Walker. Another head cleaner. Organ and Chimes Christmas. The Hammond organ. Motown. Volume 6. This might go with one of those other tapes somewhere in this mess. Could just be various Motown artists, I guess. Full Tilt. Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I might have heard of this band. There's a quadraphonic one. Not sure what music this is. Some other language, I guess. And then we've got another Glen Campbell. That's a really nice, pristine looking label. Sly and the Family Stone Greatest Hits. I have this tape. There's a hole punched in it. Chicago 10. If You Leave Me Now's on there. That's probably the biggest hit. 1976. The Buckingham's Greatest Hits. Not sure who they are. Johnny Cash. That's a nice label. Tennessee 3, one piece at a time. More Johnny Mathis. Ooh, Merry Christmas, Johnny Mathis. See, I knew him from the Christmas music. That's kind of nice to have Christmas 8 tracks for the holidays. Let's see, 24 of Hank Williams' Greatest Hits. Another 60s tape with a melted pinch roller. RCA Camden. Holiday for Strings. Living Strings plus Trumpet Play Music for Young Lovers. That's one of the old Learjets. That's it. Definitely some interesting stuff. A lot of these will probably have to be fixed, and a lot of them are going to need pinch rollers, so I didn't think it was all that bad for, you know, $25. I mean, got some good rock and jazz tapes, some sealed ones, and, you know, some CDs. Maybe I'll just flip through the pile of CDs I was thinking of keeping wherever they ended up. I don't even see them now. I'm just like drowning in 8 tracks. That's what you want. Alright, so this is Bruce Springsteen. Joni Mitchell Hits. Kind of a weird cover, but it's got some of her hits on it. Etta James, Enduring Soul. And it's got stuff with it, like a booklet in here. Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Charlie Parker, so this is like some jazz. Like a 3 CD little box set, I guess. Or no, this was like a book. And 2 CDs, so I mean that's cool. I like all the saxophone jazz stuff. This is just a blues compilation of some guitar people that seemed interesting. Sonny Rollins. Then a burned one, but it's Carole King and James Taylor, so I might check that out. Sarah McLachlan. This one's probably got the Angel song on it or something, or yeah. I don't know if I have this one yet, I'll have to look. Classic Jazz Masters. More jazz. Miles Davis. Gary Clark Jr. He's a cool guitarist I'm not extremely familiar with, but I think he's got some good stuff. This is like some Bob Dylan hits. So that's cool. John Coltrane, A Love Supreme. And now 13. which is from what year? 2003? So yeah, that's a pretty big haul. Alright, before I let you go, let's just make a pile of the melted pinch roller tapes if possible. So that's for sure going to be all those early Learjet and Ampex ones. Just to see how many there are in total. And again, sometimes I can harvest the rollers from other tapes to restore these tapes if they're the right size. Then we can make other piles of tapes with broken splices. So we've at least got, what, 6 here already? I think maybe this one too. Yep. 7. But yeah, there's definitely still some interesting albums and stuff in here. I think we're at least up to about 8. Which I guess is to be expected. But hopefully that's like a pretty good deal. Had it all priced at $35 and I talked them down to $25 and then this whole big bag of CDs. So yeah, I think most of these CDs I might just take to the rummage sale at our church or something. But anyway, I hope it was exciting to see all the stuff I found locally just like 2 miles from me. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos from me, and goodbye for now. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.